It is me. It is Thursday. It is later than usual, but oh well. We've got some nice weather around here. Temperatures today, let me move this up. Temperatures today are going to be in the 90s, mid 90s in the northern inland Bay valleys and southern Bakersfield, Fresno area, upper 90s. And then it warms further tomorrow. Sacramento today, low 90s. Sacramento tomorrow, mid 90s, upper 90s, mid 97. And then the Bay Area to San Francisco tomorrow will be about 67. And then on Friday or on Saturday, it'll be 70. So a warming trend into the weekend, but it's not a big heat event. Will fire danger be higher? Yeah, it'll be higher for sure. We're looking for the next few days to be very similar to what we've been seeing. So we'll do a whole bunch of stuff today. We'll go look at the weekend, which is huge. Thunderstorms in the mountains, not too bad. I think you're okay. You know, because I don't know if you're a backpacker, but I used to backpack a fair amount. And there's nothing worse than getting caught up in the Sierra Nevada. So we'll look at the monsoonal moisture flow and if that's present. Because all monsoonal moisture is this bad boy. So see the Gulf of California here? See this moisture over here? It gets in here and it just goes right up, gets pulled up the spine. And it's explosive, right? Because it's very moist air. It's from the tropics. And now all of a sudden it is in this mid-latitude climate with mountainous areas for orographic lift, and then the heating of the summer, the ground getting hot and the air rising. So, rare mood yesterday, huh? That was awesome. It's like therapy or something. It was nice to send Dennis off. Well, it was really cool seeing everybody too. Like all my old GMs were there. Tim McVeigh, who is Sean McVay's dad he's the LA Rams. LA Rams? Yes, LA Rams. Los Angeles Rams. He's the Rams coach, McVay. So Tim was my boss. And then his dad, McVay, I think he was president of the 49ers back during the Joe Montana era. So it's a legacy. So anyway, Tim was there. Tom Raponi was there. Jeff Block was there. Kevin O'Brien was there. He's infamous. GM. So it's just fun. It's fun seeing everybody. It's sad to say goodbye to Dennis. But what was awesome? Was seeing how we all reacted to him, because he was an intimidating guy, but he was awesome. Like, it was like if you had a really strong dad and a tough guy, but good, firm. That's what Dennis was. And so we all got in trouble because we'd do things he didn't like. And some days I'd be mad at him, and then most days I wouldn't be. But when it was all said and done, I'm like, wow, that guy was awesome. He's everything you thought he was. Okay. I could go on and on and on. I was stoked though. I didn't cry, which was only, I think I mentioned it yesterday, just because I didn't want to. I feel like crying a little bit, but I didn't want to because I think I'm representing him. It's not about me. So anyway, the jet stream further north, that's why it's a little warmer. See, it's kind of right here. And then we got this dome of high pressure out here, which is creating all this heat advisories, heat warnings still in the northeast part of the country. And then rain showers everywhere else with some tropical, subtropical activity occurring. One of the things I want to get in the habit of doing is watchduty.org, because I want you to be so comfortable with it. I had a fire up in my area yesterday and smelled smoke, saw small smoke coming up over the hill, and I'm like, And the first thing I do is I check the wind. I'm like, oh, okay, not bad. It's good direction. Not that strong. Humidity's kind of high. You kind of do all the metrics before you freak out, right? And so I was like, okay, we're fine. But there was still smoke. So I was getting ready to ride my bike over there, and then I went to this, and I saw that there was a RX, or a prescribed burn, right? So these are prescribed burns, the RXs. The gray areas represent fires that have been put out or are on their way to being put out, like the Connor fire. And then areas like this out in Utah, those fires are just raging. But it's not a bad look for the West Coast right now. We've seen a much, much worse than this. So air quality is not that bad. But what I was going to get at is there'll be fires today. Like, is there a new one today? Not yet in California. But somebody's car will spark a fire. But I guarantee it's not going to explode. It's going to, it'll be a fire. There'll be a roadside fire. I guarantee it somewhere. Maybe not even get reported, but it'll get put out because the weather's such. It's just not that windy. It's not that dry. It's dangerous for sure. And there could be, but not odds are good in our favor with this type of pattern. Although it does get hotter tomorrow, fires will start. But again, if you don't have those big winds bearing down on you, I mean, CAL FIRE, all the organizations that are involved with this now are so awesome. Because I remember, I go back far enough that we would wait days to get air support onto a fire. Maybe not days, but hours, And now, man, when there's a fire, this thing, they pop into this and they go, okay, and there's fire or there's air support, there's ground support, and they just go. So CAL FIRE is awesome that way. So we'll check this every day just to get in the habit of it until we get into the spring. With fire comes smoke. This is the Southern California smoke that you're seeing today. And it kind of lingers around a little bit tomorrow and then starts to die down towards tomorrow morning. And that's Southern California. It's not a huge lot of smoke. The purple air representing air quality, basically showing you, let's see if I can get it to pop in, this one takes a little while, shows us the smoke in Southern California, right? And I think this is a good map to look at too. And then you see Southern California. Why is it so yucky there? Not Southern California, Eastern United States. And that's because of that dome of high pressure, right? Big high pressure dome. Inversion, we know all about shallow inversions or shallower inversions. So all the junk, even your cigarette smoke, if you're smoking, it gets kind of stuck in here. I mean, it's an odd example, but you could make that argument if you wanted. Oh, let me check this real quick. I got let's see if I get it. Okay, all right. Battery low, plug it in. Okay, so the inversion is creating that for the East Coast, and that hot air is going to last for a while out there. And you can see what I'm talking about, the heat advisories, the heat warnings out here, extreme heat warnings in the Carolinas. And it's not going to be just 1 or 2 days. It's going to last a bunch of days. I know. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. We'll go through the model right now, and we'll look at, pop this out of the way. And so purples are just nasty. This is a set of metrics that take into account humidity, where you are you in an urban area? Are you in a farmland area? How heat radiates? It's just a bunch of things. And it decides, the Weather Service puts this together, and it says, hey, listen, purple is bad. It's bad for everybody. Red is bad for some people. Orange is a danger zone. But this is big heat. And we talk about it. I talk about heat all the time. And you talk about there's millions of people under these heat domes right now. So they got the smoky, or the bad air. I shouldn't say smoky air. I didn't see smoke in there. But they got the bad air, and it's hot on top of that. This is today. This is, let's see if I can move it to tomorrow. Come on. Let's see if I can get it to go. It's not going to go. Dang. Just the best laid plans. Oh, there it goes. There's tomorrow. Okay, nice. Okay. And then you see it's still hot. That's Ohio Valley getting hammered. Here's Saturday, right? And not so bad. Saturday's a break, but it's been a bunch of days with heat. And are they reporting a lot of heat deaths? Not really, but I'll tell you a little something about heat deaths. It's not always heat. It's a heart attack. You had a heart attack. Heat probably exacerbated an existing condition, or could have. I shouldn't say probably. I'm not a doctor. Live camera, inversion, Mount Tam, shallow inversion. Take a look at the loop, and we'll see from this morning on, and you'll see, it's so pretty, but shallower inversion. So we're at 2,300 feet. This is about the depth of the inversion all the way down to, say, San Luis Obispo. Maybe a little tighter down there. But when it's shallower like this, it has a tendency to be, it can be pushed around a little easier, but it can, if you get in deep into it, like if you're down in Montero right now, or at some point this afternoon, it's real shallow, so the visibility becomes pretty dense. But you are seeing some clearing with a little bit of a north-northwest flow. And a warm day in Marin County today. Temperatures throughout Marin County are going to be generally in the 70s, mid to upper 70s, low 80s. Here is the profiler, and you can see it kind of late last night, shallower. And then today, that's about, you can't read that probably, but it's about 1,200 feet. And that looks about right. When you look at it, you go, yeah, that's about right, 1,200 feet, because the Tamalpais is 2,300 feet. That does look about 1,000 feet lower, especially the fact that you don't have anything on the Marin headlands here. So tomorrow will be the same way. This is the most valuable tool in the toolbox. This is the visible satellite. not unlike watchduty.org, I would look at this every day first thing. What can I tell? I can tell where it's raining. I can tell where it's hot. I can tell where it's cold. I can tell where there's smoke. I can tell where it's sunny. I can tell where it's cloudy. I mean, is that not weather? For instance, here's smoke from those fires in Utah, right? Visible satellite, so it's just a snapshot, like your aunt up in the Goes West satellite taking a picture with her camera. You can see some of the Southern California smoke. You see the clear desert and some smoky conditions down there. You know this time of year, if it's June 26th, that the desert's hot, and it is. You can see fog along the coast in Malibu. You can see it starting to burn back. See how quickly it's burning back those last last hour? That's an indication they're going to get clearing. You got the Salinas Valley fog, which is really tight in, so that tells you the inversion is pretty shallow. We saw that with 1,200. It's being pressed down into the Salinas Valley. And you know what? Actually, I think I could do. Let me do this. I just realized something. I think this thing didn't update. Let's go back. I'm going to go. You're going to see how the sausage is made, man. Just because I want to make sure I got the right loop up for you guys. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see. Yeah, right. Okay, so this is now. So see the clearing at the coast in Southern California? That's exactly what we were a couple hours behind on that last one. I didn't want to reuse it. But you see the clearing. You see the clearing that we had in Marin County as well when we were looking down towards Ocean Beach. You can see the northwest wind shearing off leaving clear slots here in places like Pacifica and Monterey Bay. Point Conception, Santa Barbara, you're clearing shortly, but a beautiful day in Southern California. And even right now, it's cloudy on Wilshire Boulevard down by Malibu, but it'll probably clear as well. You can also see some buildup of clouds up on the hills outside of Bernie or outside of Alturas, and so on and so forth. You can tell a lot. So we can see where it's raining, we can see where it's not raining, so on and so forth. Okay, so when we look at the 500 millibar chart, we're looking at the jet stream, and I'll just move through it. That's the jet stream, and you see where we are. And the only piece that really stands out, I'll bet you see it too. So just focus on San Francisco, or the Bay Area, pardon me, or California, what am I saying? But you see it's just kind of flat line, and then right here, see this area here? Look at the rotation begin. It's a cutoff low, and it develops. It starts spinning. Now we're into Sunday and into Monday. And this bad boy, that's vorticity. There's not a lot of moisture trained with this, but the potential for thunderstorms completely exists with this pattern. And it might not be that much cooler because it's a southerly system, so it's not like it's going to get real cold like if this system dropped in. But it's something to pay attention to. Sunday night into Monday, and we'll watch that. So what I just say? We're back into it, man. What we had last week is what we're getting this week, pretty much. I think temperatures will stay just below 100 degrees in Sacramento, and then for tomorrow, the next day. And then Redding and Bakersfield, you guys will get to 102 or 103 tomorrow. And then it just kind of hovers here. None of this is all business as usual. This is the precipitable moisture map, and it just shows you where the water is. So if I move through, you see where we are, and you see where the water is. And clearly, if you look at it here, that's subtropical moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. And then this would be our North American monsoon. And if it hooked up with that low, then we'd have something. And now we can actually look now and see if there will be moisture available for that event on Sunday, Monday. So I come in, we fast forward, pretty dry around here, moisture just offshore. And then you should see, there's Saturday, and then there's that low developing. See the wind shift? And then that low starts to develop. This is Monday morning. And what I see is the low doesn't look very impressive. That's because we're looking at moisture. And the moisture tries to get entrained. That's the moisture you want, but it's not getting pulled in. At least the model suggests it's not getting pulled in, so watch. So it even goes back, it retracts. Okay, so that's the kind of thing you look for. Now that could change, but if that got pulled into that low, we'd have something for Sunday night into Monday, like thunderstorms, like the real deal kind of thing. fire concern stuff. This is I think we're looking at the NAM? No, GFS. Just not precipitable water, just what a radar might look like, a simulated radar. And we're just going through time. Is something going to happen? No. That's that Monday, right? So they say nothing. And based on what the moisture available, I probably would agree with that. Here's a little something on Tuesday or Monday afternoon. And then some more moisture gets in, but it's all kind of east. So kind of quiet week ahead. So the reason we do these is because I want you to learn how to kind of make your own forecast, which I think you already know how to do. But this is all you need to do. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you are doing it. You probably are really comfortable doing it. But there's a lot of tools out there that you can just stack together and make a forecast. And I assure you it's better than your phone app. I could talk about phone apps all day. They'll get better with AI, but not yet. They're ways off. And the folks on TV, like I was, we didn't have any time. We had no time to talk to you about vorticity or precipitable. We just don't. I think I would go 2 minutes and 45 seconds a bunch of times, but I'd say the same thing over and over. And here we can actually do a deep dive, and you can learn about it. And then, like you've learned about your health, and you've learned about your car and in your house. The more you know about it, because you live in the weather, right? You live in your house, right? You drive your car everywhere. The more you know about it, the more self-sustained you are. And weather can be deadly if you don't pay attention, especially up in the mountains. Well, we saw that event in Lake Tahoe. Even though those folks, unfortunately, we lost like 7 people because of that. It was a microburst. These are the highs for today, and then here's tomorrow, a little warmer. But these things can be avoided. They can be avoided. Like you're backpacking in the spring and you get in a 3-foot snowfall. You don't need the National Weather Service. You don't need me to tell you. You can figure it out. And it feels better to know it yourself, because then you're not relying on who knows who made that forecast. So I know I shouldn't be all, and you don't have to learn either, truthfully. But what I would like to, this is the forecast for tomorrow. What I would like to see from all this is just taking agency in the environment, in nature, as you do. I know you guys. Taking agency with weather. And what happens is, this is live jellyfish camera in Monterey. And jellyfish, they'll come into it, man. It's awesome. I don't see one now, but we will. But you take agency and it feels better. Life feels better when you know how to fix your car, when you know how to fix your house, when you know how to fix yourself if you get sick, when you know how to forecast the weather so you can take the grandkids or the kids or whatever where you're going to go. Dude, you can be a hero. You want to know how you can be a hero? There's jellyfish right there. Hell yeah. Thank you. Cue the jellyfish. You can be a hero. Like, I can't tell you how many people go to the beach and don't know if it's foggy or not. It's like, go to the visible satellite, right? And you can get a day, like if you do it right, like I used to do this move where I'd go to Stinson, back when I was dating and stuff, and it was, it's a hero move to get to the beach and have it be perfect and know that there was fog in the morning and know that it was going to clear, because then nobody'd be out there. Awesome. Nobody'd be out there. And you were just like, freaking bonus day, man. Bonus day. Muir Beach empty because it was foggy an hour before. It's going to get foggy again tonight, but in that sweet spot. And the visible satellite will do that for you. Oh, that's beautiful, huh? Yeah. All right. Puffins. Yeah, we did weather. We did. We basically are going to be warmer tomorrow, but not a ton. We're just doing this, man. We're just doing this. Nothing really big looks like it wants to change until somewhere around Sunday night into Monday. Okay. So what we're going steady as she goes, deep inversion, shallow inversion, deep inversion, warmer, cooler. Today it's a little warmer. Tomorrow will be a little warmer. Next day will be a little cooler. This is the decoy, which took me a while to figure that out. These are the puffins, just because I love them. It's funny, I had I see a lot of otters over the years surfing, and they're cute, man. Otters are cute. But if you know anything about them, they're devastatingly cruel and mean. I know. Like, I don't want to taint you on otters, but it's like, well, okay. And I guess what I'm getting at is, God, I wonder if these birds are as sweet as they look. For instance, hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. Got hummingbird feeders. but they're kind of dicks. Hummingbirds are kind of dicks. And how do I know this? Just by watching them. I mean, they're hard on each other, man. So I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Just because they're cute and snuggly doesn't mean they're cute and snuggly, but they look pretty cute and snuggly. Okay, bears. This is live. We are at Brooks River for looking for salmon. I did see salmon moving. You can see them. I think these are salmon. I think these are fish in here. See, they get all bunched up here. They're making their way upstream to spawn. And then the bears come in. I saw some bears this morning. Let's go back a little bit. Maybe I can get a bear in here. I know, I'm cheating, right? Sorry. No bears there. I know, this is bad pod. The other day we were lucky. I did this and we had a bunch of bears. that's how it was, but some lady texted me. She goes, dude, it's really it's August, September when the bears get moving because because there's more fish. The fish are just straggling in now. All right. Anyway, it's beautiful, isn't it? I'd love to go there, but it's pretty busy with people, apparently. That's the Brooks River area of Alaska. This is Mount Shasta. This is Mount Shasta will go 82 degrees today. The loop on this thing looks like this. Some low-level moisture. I see a little smoke too, right? The little bit of red you see in the atmosphere. Air quality pretty good today, though. We did look at that already. And you can see, what are you picking out here? Isn't that interesting? Just some moisture. I wonder if that's moisture. There's just some low-level moisture, right? Part of me goes, I wonder if that's water vapor from the melting snow. I know it's not because there's more clouds behind, but that's sort of an interesting footprint. Mount Shasta, and then this is San Diego. They got some sun. We just talked about that. The sun has just started to come out. It's been foggy all morning. San Diego State, our University of California, San Diego, they do these alert weather cams. They have a bottom load of live cameras. There's this blue sky coming out, getting a break down there today. It'll be nice, be a nice weekend down there as well. But the fog, a little bit of fog. As far as water, we're doing great. 8 station index covers basically the main thing about it's the Northern California water report card. Lake Oroville, Lake Shasta, 2 biggest surface reservoirs. How are they doing? 105% of average. Here we are here right now. Average is this blue line. So not too bad. I remember both those years really well, but this year was the El Nino year. The first big El Nino, really, that we kind of was on the map. El Nino was just a whisper when I started. I was actually in a climatology class with Granje Orman, and he was the guy, right, for El Nino. And he was talking about it. We're like, what are you talking about, dude? And he goes, no, there's this thing. And, it's called El Nino. They call it El Nino. I think it's because it was in Peru. It comes around New Year's, it's like the birth of the Christ child, like Christmas. Kind of in that kind of a religious deal. So El Nino, the baby boy, was Jesus apparently, and that's that time of year that the waters would warm up and they would see this, and it would affect the fishing and such. I think that's right. This is the Tulare Basin precipitation, and again, same thing. So report card for areas in Southern California, Isabella, Springville, Ash Mountain, Giant Forest. But remember, these aren't giant, they're reservoirs. They're nice that they're there, but they're not. Oroville, Shasta. So Oroville, Shasta, over 104% of rainfall or of precipitation, because this takes into account snow melt. This is 82%. Here's where the average is, and here's where this year is. So it's a little bit behind, but again, it's not devastating, which is good. Here is Halama. I think I can make this work for you. And Halama's beautiful. The sun's starting to come out there as well. I got some good reports of whales off of Sharp Park. If you get a chance, maybe go down there and just take a jacket and plunk yourself down out on the pier or out on the road there, on the frontage road, and a cup of coffee, and just wait for whales. You'll see something cool for sure if you do that. I think we covered it all. Was I going to tell a bear story? I know what I was thinking when I was looking at the bears. Let me see if I can still find the bears. Maybe we'll find one. The bears, when these are brown bears, right? Come on, there they are. These are brown bears, and they are much bigger than grizzly bears. But one of the things, and I'm not scared of bears. I've seen a lot of bears by myself in the woods, bumped into one on a bike one time by myself, almost that big. It was a big garbage bear up in Tahoe. And he was hard on me. He grumped at me and stuff. But you get kind of used to them because they're like raccoons. They usually generally run away. Even if they have cubs, they generally avoid you. But the grizzly bear, I have a guy I met once who was attacked by a grizzly bear up in the Metcalf Wilderness. And I was up there backpacking. It's really super berry, Western Yellowstone. And you're off in the middle of nowhere. And he said, listen to this story. It's gnarly. As you look at this bear, he said he saw up on the ranger, had a gun, saw up on the hill, saw a big mama grizzly and her babies, but like 2 miles away, because it's kind of granity. I can't remember what that rock is. I think it's granite. And this story's terrifying. And he goes, yeah, I saw it. And I go, I'm cool. He's there. I'm there. I'm going this way. He's going that way. 20 minutes later, there's the mama right in the middle of the trail. Basically hunted him, brought the babies down. Mama mauls him, just kicks his ass, right? He's like, she doesn't kill him. She just beats him up. And he gets up, he staggers. He's cut up a little bit, but he's in not bad shape. He literally starts walking back to his car, which is a few miles away. About an hour later, she comes up behind him and takes him down again. It's a Google. You could Google it. He actually got to his car and talks about it. But I actually met him up in the Metcalf Wilderness, and the story is frightening. Frightening. Can you imagine? That's okay. So my point was, grizzlies I think they're dicks. They're awesome, but they're not. You can't. That's a really rough. What do you do with that? I'm sure he had at least bear spray, but I think he actually had was loaded for bear as well. Anyway, I just wanted to tell that story because maybe a little bit because of what happened in Tahoe, that when I was growing up and when you were growing up, and your grandpa would tell you this too, nature will kick your ass. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care who you are. So know the weather. That's what we talked about, right? Understand the weather, understand the wildlife, understand that right now rattlesnakes are out, and deal, because it's not, or in the surf, deal with it, because your big sets will come. You're going to get jacked up pretty good, and you better be able to hold your breath or whatever, or you're going to bump into a rattlesnake eventually, and you need to just be always aware. It's not an e-ticket at Disneyland. And I think that's what's happened in our society is a lot of people, it's fun and nature's, but I see it all the time. I'll be out doing stuff, kind of going off again, but I'll be out doing stuff, and I'll see people like hiking with no water, like in the middle of nowhere on a hot day with no water. I'm like, oh my God, how do you do that? It's dangerous, first of all, right? You get dehydrated and you go. So anyway, let's continue on as we go. A little bit warmer tomorrow. Kind of hovers this weekend. Monday will be interesting, just mainly for the mountains. I'll see you back here.